Good morning. It is a super duper cold day here in Virginia. It's about 8 degrees outside right now. It's 9 o'clock. This weather is really rare for this area, but we had a snowstorm the last 2 days, about like 3 inches of snow. So we're snowbound. Matt went to work for the first time, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff that I need to do. I went to Costco on Monday, so there's like all the fruit that I need to wash and put in containers. We're out of peanut butter, so I need to make peanut butter, and whenever I make peanut butter, it makes the blender kind of messy, so I'm gonna make smoothies. I don't know if the kids are gonna make them. I have milk that has started to go bad. It's gonna smell. I'm not gonna throw it away though. So I am going to make ricotta cheese, but I don't know if I have too much milk to do that. And I'm going to try making yogurt with it. It's not like chunky bad, it's just got kind of it got a smell to me. I'm also a super smeller now that I had kids, so maybe it smells to me, but not the average person. But I don't wanna waste it, so I'm going to make ricotta cheese because we're gonna make lasagna here in a couple days, and yogurt, and what else did I want to do today? We're gonna make dinner. It's a cold day, so I'm gonna make soup. These are two actually acorn squashes. This one doesn't look like it is, but it is a type of acorn squash. It just looks pumpkin-y. This is the one that I think of, acorn squash. So I'm gonna make my acorn squash soup for dinner, and I also have a little bit of buttermilk that needs to go, so I'm thinking biscuits. I think that's weird. The soup maybe, I don't know. That's my plan. Are we getting all this done? I don't know. The kids are being wild. They want to go outside, but it's just too cold to go outside right now, so maybe in a little bit. They've consumed like 5 yogurts in the past hour. I'm trying to contain them with the movie. We just watched Charlie Brown, and they wanted me to watch it with them, so that's fine because I was drinking my coffee anyway. So let me see how much stuff I can get done today. That was actually super satisfying. It took about like 2.5 minutes. I have a Vitamix. I just toggle between like 2 and maybe 5. I just kind of like rev it up, and you can tell when the motor is struggling, but sometimes I have to go in there and scrape it down, but it kind of fell on its own, so I didn't have to do that. The hardest part is getting this out of the Vitamix, in my opinion. This will fit in a pint jar. You can see it's a little, there's some little chunks in there. That doesn't bother us, but you can just keep going if you like smooth. I'm not really one for gadgets, but this is the Vitamix scraper, and it is extremely helpful for peanut butter. So this is what I bought. I bought it on Amazon. I think it was like $15, if that. So that's for a craft toilet paper. Ignore that, the toilet paper. But I was just gonna say, if you do peanut butter in the Vitamix, do yourself a favor and get this tool because it is super duper handy. And then as of late, this is my new smoothie bin. I have some avocado that I've chopped up frozen. Tilly's playing with the door. Here's some kale. I'm not gonna do that today. And then I've really been liking this blend by Target, and it's actually a really good price. Yeah. So I get that. Pouring this into, and then I always like to go with wild blueberries. I don't really care if they're organic, because if they're wild, then they kind of are organic because they're not sprayed with anything in theory, but wild blueberries have so many antioxidants. So then I just kind of throw stuff in here. This is the smoothie for my kids. So I have some of these snacking carrots that are left over. They just go right in. And this is Tilly's new obsession. She eats 80% of applesauce packets. It depends on what time of the day it is. Sometimes I just finish them for her, or I throw them in the fridge for when I do this. I mean, there's not much left in here, but try to get every little bit. Here's a yogurt one from this morning. And then Paul had some potty problems, so this is actually a smoothie that I made a couple days ago with prune, and Paul doesn't have that issue, so I'm just gonna put that in here. And then I have hemp seeds, and then over by my mixer I have, what's it called? Chia seeds that I'm gonna add. protein pretty much. Here's the last yogurt that I made. I'm gonna dump some of this in there. And then I just, enough water so that this blends basically. Oh, slightly peanut butter. Obviously it's not gonna get the peanut butter on the front. I do this basically to help clean it out because there's so much good peanut butter stuck in here. So I'm gonna blend this up and bottle up and see if Tilly likes it. Next up, I'm gonna make yogurt. This is the yogurt. This is the milk I prefer to use for yogurt right now. It's grass-fed. I get it at Target, and it's ultra pasteurized, so I'm not going to heat it up before I make yogurt. I'm literally just going to add this to my yogurt from last time or a new unflavored yogurt and put it in my spot, hit the yogurt button, and forget about it all day. That's all I do. It works every single time. But this milk, it's open and it's about a week past its sell date, you know, if you take that for what it is. But it's got a slight smell to me. That's why I'm making yogurt with it. So I do have that's probably about a cup of yogurt. I'm just gonna steal a little bit because I always have yogurt after dinner. I'm just gonna steal a little bit so I can have my after dinner yogurt and probiotic. So after I have dinner, this is my new dessert. I cover this with whatever berries we have and have that. And I'm just going to actually pour my milk right in here, give it a shake to try to get this yogurt off. So this is what the chaos that I pulled out of my fridge that I want to do. I pulled this out because I'm finally going to put this in the refrigerator. I don't know if this is going to be in this video, but I need to make more strawberry jelly. Those are frozen. They need to thaw. I found some pancakes in the fridge. I don't know how long they've been there. I was trying to see if anybody wanted them. Nobody did. This was in the refrigerator, empty. So I need to wash the Costco strawberries. You gonna do it, Till? Let's see. It's just chaos in here. I need to wash these blueberries. I need to wash these strawberries. I actually really like using this to wash produce, and because I have so much to wash, because I also want to wash my grapes, I'm gonna put this in a big bowl just to get out of the way so I can use this to soak my berries and then wash them. I'm gonna let them dry on sheet trays with a towel, and then I'll put them in containers. I don't think I have a big enough container for the strawberries, so they're probably just gonna go right back in there. And I don't know what happened to all my Swedish dish towels. I think I have, if I have two, I'm gonna put one here. If not, I'll just let them hang out because this has good aeration. I always take this, cut the lid off, put a Swedish dish towel in it because it fits perfectly, and flip it underneath as a tray. And Matt picks these out. I'm not a great person. Matt picks these out of the fridge just to eat, so we're gonna wash those. I saw my sourdough in the back of the fridge and it does not look too happy, and tomorrow I want to do a lot of baking, so I'm gonna just dump off that hooch and I'm going to feed him. He has a brand new jar, doesn't he? Look so pretty. So I have that. There's this smoothie that needs to go in the fridge. This is the milk I want to make ricotta cheese out of. It is not chunky by any means, but it smells a little weird. So I've never actually done this. I'm gonna follow the recipe from Ina Garden. I'll link it below. We'll see how it goes. And it is milk and heavy cream. Pint of heavy cream. So I actually do have a lot of heavy cream, so that's fine. And I saw another recipe that was just milk. So I don't know. I've never tried this before. And then you can use for the acid white vinegar or lemon juice. I do have lemons, but I'm just gonna try the white vinegar because that's what Ina's recipe is. And the only other ingredient is salt. I'm going to make lasagna soon, but not today. It says it'll last 4 to 5 days in the fridge. So we're gonna make this today so this doesn't go any more bad. And then we'll have that. Is that all I'm doing right now? I think so. The only sad part is I made this whole thing of chocolate milk for Paul and it smells funky. I don't think I want chocolate flavored ricotta in my lasagna. So I'm unfortunately going to dump this, as sad as that is. Looks like there's a whole quart here. So the backstory is, I mean, you may not even care. This is just parent struggles. Paul doesn't eat anything. So we were trying to get him to eat protein and I figured, you know what, chocolate milk is better than nothing. I was making the chocolate syrup myself with coconut sugar, cocoa, and water, that's it. So it was pretty, you know, there wasn't any chemicals like if I was just using OG Hershey syrup or something. So I would give him chocolate milk at each dinner and then we noticed that he would slam the chocolate milk and then not be hungry for dinner. And I was like, I think you're drinking your calories. So now I stopped offering it. So if he asks for chocolate milk, I sure as heck will make it. So I think what I'm gonna do is just keep milk in my glass jar and then I will just make him chocolate milk as he asks for it. So I'm not going to keep a big half-gallon thing of chocolate milk in the fridge anymore. And then I don't have to worry about wasting that much milk, which makes me sad. So that is the plan. That was the background. If you have any tips for kids that don't eat, it actually, I don't lose sleep over it, but it does like bother me a little bit because Tilly eats everything, pretty much. For the most part, you put it in front of Tilly's face, she eats it. And then Paula's like, I just want Cheez-Its and peanut butter all day, 3 meals a day. So that is the parent struggle I'm currently dealing with. But anyway, let me get, it's so bright outside. I love how like the snow reflects the sun. It's so pretty. Anyway, let me just keep going before they lose interest. They are snuggling on the couch right now watching Mickey. Let me show you this. Viral TikTok thing. I mean, not that grapes is that difficult to take off of, but I saw this where they put it on a towel, they put another towel on top and just kind of like zhuzh it, and they're supposed to come off. Does this work? I don't know. If you give them a little massage, I can feel them all falling off. Again, picking grapes is not that awful for me. I know some people pick and choose what tasks they do and do not like. This one doesn't really bother me. I mean, that worked pretty well. That worked pretty well. I like the system of putting berries or fruit on a sheet tray like this because obviously they dry. I'm not gonna let these sit here. Sometimes I'll let the blueberry and strawberry sit for a few minutes, but I can easily just pick through and grab all the yucky stuff because you can just see it all at once. So this is how I do it. And then up next, I think I'm gonna do my strawberries. And I just add a drop of Dr. Bronner's. This is the unscented. It does say on here for cleaning produce, in case you've never noticed. It shows all the things you can use Dr. Bronner's for. Pretty cool. So I think I'm gonna make bread tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. But I am going to just feed it a little bit right now. I don't even know how much flour I added in there. And water, and I'll leave it on the counter. It's 10:30 right now, so then tonight before bed, I'll feed it again because I want active starter for my sandwich bread that I don't have any of. So I'm gonna make sandwich bread tomorrow, I think. So normally I would feed it a lot more flour, but I'm just giving it a little bit. I like mine to be this. I go by consistency, so I want mine to be like pancake batter, like really thick pancake batter. So so one other thing that I bought at Costco was this big old block of cream cheese. This is 3 pounds, so it is 48 ounces, so that is 6 blocks bars, 8-ounce bars. And there actually are lines on the thing itself. How accurate are they? I don't know, because like you can see like this is cut off, so it's like that 8 ounces. I'm not really particular. You could get out a scale and cut these if you want to be exactly 8 ounces. I just kind of eyeball it. So I'm going to cut these into sections, put them on a cookie sheet, throw them in my freezer, and then I just throw them in a Ziploc bag once they're fully frozen, like little blocks. And then I pull them out for recipes. I will say if you freeze cream cheese, it gets a little weird. It gets like a little grainy. So I wouldn't freeze cream cheese if I was like going to put it on a bagel or something. But if you're baking with it, I've never noticed a difference. And this is very inexpensive to do it this way. Buy it in bulk and then, you know, cut them into your own little squares. So this is actually, I went ahead a long time ago and cut this out and put it in my freezer bag so I even more so know exactly what it is. So I did this. So I'm like such a nerd. And I just reuse the same bag every single time. Last time I wrapped them in saran wrap. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or just put parchment paper around them so I don't have to waste that much plastic. So, and then when I pull it out, I'll pull it out frozen and put it in like a silicone bag or something. I don't know, a bowl, whatever. So this is my, I was getting very low. This is like 1 cheesecake versus of cream cheese left. So I needed to refill this. So I'm gonna do that as well. I just realized I messed this up. There should be 6, I'm cutting it for 8. It's fine, it's fine. Because I was like, man, these lines are really off for 8. Nobody tell Matt and it will be fine. A lot of times what I'm using this cream cheese for is my mashed potatoes and I don't really care that it is not 8 ounces. So this is 48 divided by 6, so I made 6-ounce blocks is what I did. Whoops, that's all right. Making it work. Okay, so in the freezer this goes till frozen solid. So I'm just waiting for this to come to, what does it say in the, bring to a full boil over medium. I'm getting there. It's getting really hot and I'm seeing some bubbles. What I am going to do is a little different from the recipe is I have my 2 layers of cheesecloth that's just wet. It's over one of my big Pyrex jars, Pyrex measuring cups. I was reading another article where it said don't just dump it in here because the cheesecloth is going to get clogged. To go through the tedious process of using a slotted spoon and try to get as many curds as you can in here. So that is what I intend to do, and then I'm going to keep all the way because that's what I'm going to use tomorrow in my bread making. And then here is my acid, which I'm using just white vinegar. So that is right there waiting, and I'm just waiting now for this to come to a full boil. And I'm going to put the vinegar in there, and then it should curdle. Okay, so I am going to call this as a rapid boil. Oh God, before it boils over. I'm going to cut the heat off. And another article said when you add your acid to leave it alone. So I am going to do that. And it should curdle. So I'm just going to leave this here. I mean, it's in a cast iron pot, so it's still heating. And I can already see it separating. So we'll give this a minute. I'm always like happily shocked when a recipe works. I did read that you want to be very careful with the curds. So hopefully I don't make too much of a mess. It's been a minute. I have my slotted spoon. I'm gonna pull over my cheesecloth over here. I'm gonna try to carefully, I'm gonna make a mess, that's real. I'm gonna put the thing here and try to scoop out as many as I can without dumping it. So Okay, that was crazy successful. I'm just bringing up the tendrils so they don't like leak water everywhere. So this is the whey. Those are the curds. And I have, my measuring cup is well loved. It's about 3 cups. I don't know how much bread I'm gonna be making tomorrow. And if I have extra, honestly, I'll just freeze it because I'm not doing this that often. And it said to let that drain for 20 minutes. So that's what I'm gonna do and feed these little hoodlums in the meantime. The strawberries and blueberries I just need to pack up, and then I think I'm almost done. Okay, so it's been the 20 minutes and I feel like my whey, I can't tell now, I guess I could look back at the footage. I feel like my whey got very cloudy. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look into that. There's actually not much ricotta cheese, which I figured. I don't know what the actual ounces is, and I don't think Ina Garden's recipe, which I'll link below, even says. But I'm going to flip this out into a Pyrex container. This is going into lasagna later in the week. And then I love this huge Pyrex. This is my 8-cup one, and it comes with a lid. So I'm just gonna put the lid on it and I'm gonna put it in my outdoor chiller, AKA my screened-in porch, so it cools down. That's going in my fridge. And I'm going to make bread with that. I have 4 cups of whey. So I did a quart plus a pint of a quart of milk, a pint of cream, and I got 4 cups of whey. So about 2 cups of ricotta, if I'm doing my math correctly, something like that. So that looks lovely. I'm very happy about that. And I just have a little bit of a mess. The dishwasher is running. Okay, so here is the ricotta. Disney is so loud in the background, I apologize. I thought I would quickly show you the texture. Let me zoom in. And again, this is warm, so it's gonna be a little different, but it looks like ricotta cheese to me. That's pretty cool. And I didn't waste all that milk, which makes me happy. So the only thing I have left to not waste is the dinner. So it's almost nap time, thank you, Lord. And we'll be back in a little while for dinner. Doesn't it look so pretty outside? I almost wish I was sitting out there reading. Almost. That's like 25 degrees right now. But anyway, the kids are up, they're watching Mickey again. That's fine, we're gonna do a craft here in a second. I'm getting dinner ready. I'm calling these like sheet pan soups. Hold on. So I have in this big bowl, because I'm about to mix it up here, I have my butternut squash. That was the one long neck medium butternut squash. You just eyeball this. This is 1 medium-sized sweet potato chunked. I even kept the skin on, because I'll show you in a second, for sweetness and just like a different type of texture. I've even put carrots in here before. That's also delicious. And then this is a gala apple, just one that I chunked up, didn't peel. And here is an onion that I just did in big chunks. And then I like garlic, so you don't have to do this many. I am doing 4 garlic cloves. And as you can see, the peel is still on. Because I'm gonna roast these, I'll pull these out when they're done, and then I'll squeeze out the roasted garlic inside and put that into the soup so the outside doesn't scorch or burn. Then I hit it with some glugs of avocado oil, probably about a 1/4 cup. You don't want these things to be dry, you want them to be covered in oil. Salt, pepper. I'm gonna mix that, dump that on a sheet pan. I'm gonna roast this at 400 for about 30 minutes. I'll check it. I'm looking for some like caramel bits and for some of the moisture to come out. There's not too much moisture in the squash. I have a cup of bone broth defrosting there. I'm gonna throw, this should be enough moisture. I have my Vitamix ready to go on standby. I'm gonna put all this in the mix, in the Vitamix, blend it, add my stock. I'm gonna put some heavy cream, leave that in a saucepan on the stove on low until we're ready to eat. I have no idea what time Matt is coming home. And then I'm gonna work on my biscuits using up the buttermilk. So this is everything all roasty toasty. And I'm going to add in that bone broth. I believe that is from beef bones. And I'm gonna blend this until it's completely smooth. Okay, so that's done. I did end up adding about another cup of water. I'm just gonna pour this into a saucepan and keep it on the stove on low until we're ready to eat dinner, and I just have to make those biscuits. Okay, so here is my very official biscuit recipe. I have 2 of them. If I use buttermilk, I use for every cup of self-rising flour, a 1/4 cup of butter, and a 1/3 cup of buttermilk. So I'm gonna double this, and I'll just freeze whatever I have left. We've had a bunch of meltdowns. Everybody's losing it. So I think I am fending for myself for dinner tonight. So I'm trying to go as quickly as possible so we can get upstairs and get these crazies in bed. I guess she's helping me. So. I totally thought I had more buttermilk than I do. I actually have a little over 1/2 cup. So I'm just gonna take some of this flour out. I'm also using the same bowl that I tossed the veggies in with oil, and it's fine, it's fine. And because I'm lazy, I don't want to flour a countertop and really clean it up. I'm gonna do this, I guess, shaping on my silk pad. I'm just kind of doing like a rectangle, and I'm gonna fold it. Is that a book fold? 3 times. And then I'm gonna cut it into 6 pieces. My oven's at 425, and I'm gonna watch them about 10 minutes. Okay, perfect. In the oven these go. Here they are. Look at that one right there. Yum. So good, so good. And here's the soup, just heating, ready. And then I decided, I don't know why I thought this would be good, but I took some sausage and cut them into really thin coins, and I'm like heating them up in the air fryer to put on top. I almost forgot to show you. So the yogurt was done a while ago. I'm actually just going to throw this whole thing in the refrigerator and deal with it later. But I just wanted to show you the texture. It's very creamy and thick, and it will thicken a little bit as it cools down. It's still warm right now. So I'm going to put this to bed and deal with that in the morning. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up so I know. Check me out on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.